Hi, this is Paul from mytradingbuddy.com. This is my stock swing trading analysis and alert video for Tuesday the 23rd of January. So let's start with IVZ. I got out of this yesterday. Part of my time stop strategy really. This trade originally entered on 28th of November, so it's been on far too long. Not getting towards the target level. To be honest, my target level is running out now. So yesterday's bar had fresh air above it. We're really struggling to get and keep above this previous wave 3 high. Formed a double top there during the trade, came back down. Just don't want to take it any longer. Took 0.75% profit on the account balance, so really good profit on there. Just don't want to play around with this anymore because I get charged every night to carry it over. So that's IVZ, took profits on there. So we can see now on the spreadsheet how that looks. We have 13.2% profit on the account balance so far for the closed trades for January for this stocks swing trading daily video. Trade room sitting at 4.1 and the inner circle sitting at 2.1. Inner circle trades there is around about 8 or 9% profits on some of those longer term trades that we've got there, so all looking good at the moment. Just to remind those new members, anything new, so we've got 3 new trades that triggered yesterday from the watch list. So they're in white with red background, white background with red writing. And then we've got 3 new orders today, so they're again on the orders side, they are white with red writing. Okay. So let's go to the rest of the open trades. DYN. So got a bit of a nosebleed yesterday after the good breakout on Friday. So we're back down, closed at the low, but if we look at the volume, it's quite low volume there. So we are at this stage thinking, well, I am thinking it's, some profit taking. We may pull back, and the top end of this sideways action here, this zone could act as support before it goes back up again. So got to be a bit patient with DYN. VSH now has earnings confirmed for the 6th of February. So again, we had a bit of a sell-off after the big breakout on Friday, but it was lower. Lower volume, back down to average volume, so we can say now we're probably looking at yesterday being a bit of profit taken after the big hike on Friday, and we're looking at this sort of zone here to act as support, consolidate and then turn back up again. This is something I want to get out of before earnings though, so let's just see how it goes. IGT had a reasonably good day yesterday. So this higher support level did seem to hold. We got the higher high, the higher low yesterday, and we closed near the high. Problem is lower volume. So again, if we look at the volume on the bottom there, that's quite a bit lower yesterday. So that volume is contracting. So I don't know how much juice this current move is going to have. So we'll see how that goes in today's session. MU rejected the lows at this support level. After we gapped down, did venture down, but then closed back at the high. Decent volume yesterday. So we're looking for this higher support level to hold and get back up. To be honest, been in this trade quite a long time. We can see this trend line now forming here, but it is going to be quite critical for me not to really take a loss on this one. So I may decide if we can get back up above the entry. If we struggle at this sort of level again, just getting out. So CME, good day yesterday, new wave 5 high and closed at the high. So very encouraging for today's session. So we just beat this previous wave 3 resistance and closed at the high. We're looking for that momentum to continue. We did have lower volume compared to last Thursday and Friday. So it was a lower volume move. Might run out of juice and come back down again, but at this moment in time it was a great day for this particular trade yesterday, so let's see if that can continue into today's session. CGNX was pretty flat really. I just got that indecision doji yesterday. slightly low volume again, so we've just got to see if we can that momentum can build back up with this particular trade. BDX had a great day yesterday, so reasonably good volume, but it is dropping off a little bit as we get to this resistance level. It's a 52-week high. We closed near the high yesterday, just at the target zone. I'm just seeing today, I didn't take this out. I'm just seeing if today we can push through to around about the 238. But if I can get a little bit further into this target zone, I will be taking profit today on BDX. Baidu rejected the lows and came back into a slight profit maker position, if not break even there. So did reject those lows yesterday after the big move down. So slightly encouraging, but this needs to consolidate here and really start to push higher over the next week or so. GPS, another one that made a new wave 5 high yesterday, not been in this trade very long at all. Increased volume as well, so we should, in theory, see this momentum continue today into the target zone, if not a little bit higher. But again, sitting at really good profits at the moment on these daily swing trade videos for January. So, you know, if I get out of BDX, I may stay in GPS and see if it can push through that target level. We'll see how the session goes, and if I do get out of any trades, I'll update people on the Facebook group. So with CAG, we had a high low yesterday, slight drop in volume, a little bit concerning, but the main thing is price action at the moment. High low. The indecision came probably because of the lack of volume, but the main thing is we are moving in the right direction. Very young trade though, so lots of time. Conversely, SBAC been on the same time, triggered on Friday, had a good day yesterday, higher low, and closed near the high. We are at this resistance level now though. Let's just draw that in here. So this has got to be beaten in the next day or so. So it could cause a little bit of a sell-off and a pullback. But if momentum stays high, again, we had low volume yesterday, so that may be a problem. Let's see how today goes. But we need a close above there and to clear that. But it's early days, so let's give it some time. CTRP triggered yesterday, rejected the lows, and then came back up and closed near the high. Quite a lot of volume there. It was red for quite a long time, and then towards the end, the second half of the session yesterday, did pull back up and close these here. But so first day in, let's see if that can turn back around and go back down again on this short for CTRP. EAT did trigger. Went quite a lot lower and then regained that and closed pretty much near the entry there. So that rejection of those lows with higher volume is quite encouraging. We should see that momentum continue today, and what I'm looking for is a higher high, higher low, and if the momentum is going to continue, we should get an increase in volume, or at least equal to yesterday's volume on EAT. BRFS, this triggered, it gapped down below the original entry at 1163 in the trade room with this as well, so I managed to get an entry short at 1157, which still gives a decent risk to reward down to the target of 1 to 2, because it did pull back slightly after the open, and then I managed just to get 1157 entry. I know one of the guys in the trade room got 1158, but we're short. It's in a slight profit making position. Good gap down, increasing volume yesterday, so looks very good for this short now. The potential of it getting down to this 980. So that's the open trade. Let's go to the watch list. So with the potential short on Bitter, closed near the high yesterday, testing this previous wave 4 high, didn't quite make it. If it does break this $39 level, this previous wave 4, probably going to walk away from this trade because the wave 4 retracement up will be too deep, so I'll cancel that. But You know, it's still a good entry at 33.89 at the moment if we start to go lower. TCO, good day yesterday. Move away, more away from this wave 4 support level with a higher high, higher low, and closed near the high. The volume also increased yesterday, almost doubled from Friday. So that again is a good sign that momentum is building and wanting to rejoin the main bullish trend. So 63.42 is the entry, which is way outside the 6-4 moving average high for today's bar position and above the high of this big red candle bar there. SPWH was pretty flat, but we did get a slightly higher high and a higher low. So it's just taking its time. 602, still a good entry position for that. Bud was flat, really flat to the close on Friday. We did have the gap down, but then regained there just to close the gap, did go higher. Volume was slightly below average. We just got to give this some time. So new for today, LSI, wave 4 pullback has found good support between the 382 and the 0.5 fib. We did try and move away yesterday, got a higher high, high low, but then rejected those highs. So an entry above that rejection is quite sensible, and it's also going to be outside the 6-4 moving average high for today's bar position. So an 86.21 entry here for a long with a stop loss at 82.88 gives us a great risk to reward up to this 93.50 level of over 1 to 2. So good looking trade, good looking setup. Let's see if we can move back up above this level and enter today. Shack is another one. May not trigger today. We did get an increase in volume yesterday, but we had a big red day. But what I've done is I've gone for the entry now above $45, so 45.02, which is outside of the 6-4 moving average high for today's bar position, also above these highs here and these lows. So this is quite a critical support resistance level. If we can get in just above that $45 level, we've got a risk to reward of 1 to 1.6 to the target at 49.50. So again, it might not trigger today, but it's a good setup. Roku, now this is a relatively new stock. Got listed on the 28th of the 9th, 2017. And quite typically now we're in its first cycle. Its first cycle in that we've had the open, it's been listed, we've had a wave 1, wave 2, we've had a really long wave 3. Now there've been some profit taking. It's found support at a previous support level, and yesterday started to move higher with increased volume. If we look at the volume a bit more closely down at the bottom here, during the wave 4 we can see overall that during the profit taking period we can see that the volume was contracting, and now for the first time it looks like it could be going up, and we have that confirmation with good price action yesterday closing near the high. So we're looking to obviously trade to all-time highs of around about $69. Entry at 46.16, which is outside of the 6-4 moving average for today's bar position, also slightly above this consolidation zone here. Stop loss below the wave 4 at 38.88. Now the risk to reward is fantastic. It's about 1 to 3 into this all-time high target position. However, we've still got a 1 to 1.6 to just below the previous wave 3 high. So even if it does struggle at that $58 level, we've still got a great trade there. So that's it for today. Have a great trading day, and I'll speak to you all tomorrow.